Settle in. Find a quiet place. Dim the lights, if you dare. Tonight we'll wander beneath the blood moon, a sight both beautiful and terrifying, a shadow that has haunted humanity for thousands of years. As you listen, let your mind drift. Pretend you're sitting by a fire deep in the forest, while the crimson glow of the moon peers down from above. Don't be afraid, or perhaps do. Because when the moon turns red, legends say, the world changes. The blood moon is not just a celestial event. To scientists, it's simple. Sunlight bends through Earth's atmosphere during a lunar eclipse, filtering out blue light and leaving only red. The moon becomes drenched in crimson, but to ancient eyes, to those who lived before telescopes and physics, it was an omen, a warning. A night when the barrier between worlds grew thin, when gods waged wars in the heavens, and when demons crawled into our dreams. In Babylon, scribes carved into clay tablets, when the moon turns red, kings will fall. To them, a blood moon was not astronomy, it was destiny. In Inca legends, the blood moon was a jaguar devouring the moon. People would shout, drum, and throw spears into the sky to frighten it away. And in Norse mythology, wolves named Skal and Hati hunted the moon across the night, and when they caught it, the sky bled. Think of it. For most of history, people had no control over their lives. Disease, famine, sudden storms. And then, the one light in the night sky, the faithful moon, turns red. Imagine the fear. Imagine the villagers staring upward, children clutching their mothers, shamans whispering spells. And maybe, just maybe, they were right to fear. Modern science tells us it's just refracted sunlight. But science doesn't erase the fact that strange things happen on nights of the blood moon. Crimes spike. Animals act strangely. In some cultures, even now, people avoid sleeping beneath its glow, afraid of visions. Have you ever noticed how the world feels different when the moon is full? Now imagine that same moon dripping in blood. There are stories, old, whispered, never written down, that claim the blood moon is a gateway. That spirits cross over more easily, that the dead rise, not from graves, but in memories, in shadows at the edges of your vision. In some villages in Eastern Europe, it was said, if you looked too long at the blood moon, you would dream of those who died violently. They would stand at the foot of your bed, silent, their eyes glowing red like the moon itself. In Japan, samurai believed a blood moon meant battles were near. And indeed, some of history's bloodiest wars were fought under eclipsed skies. Coincidence? Or something darker? The blood moon has long been tied to prophecy. Even in the Bible, the book of Joel declares, the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes. Apocalypse. Judgment. The end of days. In the 21st century, some preachers revived these prophecies. They claimed the tetrad for blood moons in a row was a divine sign, a warning that humanity stood at the edge of disaster. And yet here we are. The world didn't end. Or did it? Think about it. What if reality did fracture under the blood moon? What if timelines split and we slipped into another version of Earth? One slightly different than the last. How would you know? Maybe that's why so many of us feel it's out of place. Legends also tie the blood moon to creatures of the night. Werewolves, vampires, shadows that hunger. The Maya believed the moon's redness was caused by spirits drinking its light. In Slavic tales, witches gathered herbs and cast spells during a blood moon, for its power was stronger than any other night. And in some Native American legends, the blood moon was a sign that the trickster spirits were dancing, and that chaos would follow. Imagine walking alone at night during a blood moon. The streets empty, the world unnaturally quiet. Every shadow looks alive, every sound echoes. And somewhere inside you, a primitive voice whispers, "Run." Now, science says this is nonsense. It's just light and shadow, just physics. But science also says the universe is 95% dark matter and dark energy. Invisible, untouchable, a force we don't understand. So who's to say? Maybe the blood moon is more than shadow. Maybe it's a reminder that the universe is stranger than we can comprehend. Think about it. The same event that terrifies wolves, inspires poets, fuels rituals, and sparks nightmares. is also one of the most beautiful sights in the cosmos. A paradox in the sky. The blood moon is not just out there, it's in us. We project our fears onto it. Our myths, our nightmares. Maybe that's why it feels so personal. Maybe when you look at the blood moon, you don't just see the sky, you see yourself, your own shadow, reflected in crimson. And maybe that's why people across history believed it changed them. Because in a way, it did. So the next time the blood moon rises, when the sky burns red and the shadows deepen, remember, it is both science and story, both shadow and symbol, a mirror of our fears, our myths, and our endless need to find meaning in the darkness. But also remember this, don't stare too long, because if the legends are true, the blood moon doesn't just watch from the sky, sometimes it watches back. If you enjoyed walking with me under the crimson sky tonight, stay close. There are countless more mysteries waiting in the dark. Until then, keep your eyes on the stars. And maybe, just maybe, don't look too long at the moon.